What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form.
For the Browns in this ball game, they have to establish the run game very early in this matchup. That's one way they can help ease Brian Hoyer into the ball game, and also it's important for the Browns to get back to what they did well earlier in the season, which is running the football. I know Alex Mack is out, but they still have to be able to get the ground game going versus Cincinnati. And the biggest matchup when these teams always meet is between Joe Hayden, the outstanding cornerback, and A.J. Green, the outstanding wide receiver for Cincinnati. That's obviously a battle that Hayden will have to win more often than not. And the defensive line versus the running game will be huge. We'll talk about this later on in the video, but that defensive front seven of the Browns have to be a lot better at the point of attack versus the running game, especially playing the Cincinnati Bengals, who can run downhill. And for the Bengals in this ball game, they have to strike early. I believe the Browns are a team that starts the game slowly, and if you get up 10 to 14 points on the Browns, it's going to be tough for them to come back, especially when you have the offense like you have. So it's important that they strike early, put the Browns in the hole early on in this ball game, and they have to win the special teams battle. I'm a big fan of how the Bengals are able to flip field position on their punt returns and establish great field position with their kickoff returns. If they can win 2 out of the 3 aspects of a game, it's going to help them knock off Cleveland. And they have to stay active in the secondary. I'm not as sold on Brian Hoyer's ball placement early on in games. I think that's some opportunity for them to get tip passes at the line of scrimmage or even interceptions back there in the secondary.
There's a multitude of ways you can attack a cover 2 defense, and I'm going to show you how this week versus Cincinnati the Browns can do so, because we know they love to spread the field, and it's one way they can attack that coverage out of the spread formation. I'm going to show you how they can do that with all slants. And the simple concept, you want to find the soft corner in this type of situation. On the backside, what we're running is streak, trying to pull that safety out of the way. We're going to have the back also pick up the blitz as well. So backside, backside, you're not going to worry about anything. Front side, where we have the trips, you can see 1, 2, 3 is where we're going to run all 3 slants, and we're going to try to find the softest coverage, and that's where you want to go with the football. So inside guy, he runs the slant, the quicker slant. He's going to push up to about 5. He's going to go right behind him, and he's going up as well, almost looking like a skinny post. So it's a simple concept, but what you're reading, you're going to read the backer, you're going to read the nickel back, you're going to read the corner. Whoever is the softest coverage, that's where you want to go with the football. A lot of times 1 may clear out 2 and 2 may clear out 3. So it's just up to Brian Hoyer just to find pre-snap where the soft coverage could be, and also post-snap to find which one of these guys gives you the best opportunity to complete the pass. This would be great on 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. One way you could spread the field, run all slants, and attack cover 2. This week it's important that the Bengals get pressure on Brian Hoyer, and I'm going to show you one cover 1 fire zone blitz utilizing the strong safety on an A-gap blitz that can be a great use for the Bengals this week versus Cleveland. Show you what we're talking about. We're going to have dual A-gap pressure with the strong safety and the Mike backer, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. As I said, cover 1, we're manned up on the outside. The Bengals trust their personnel, especially against the receiving core of Cleveland. I believe they can go man up easily. Free safety back deep. We're going to drop the backer on the strong side over in this curl flat area. And what we're doing with the guys inside is simple. We're going to have a stunt going on up front. We're going to have the defensive end. His job is to rush upfield. We're going to have the defensive tackle push as if he's going to attack the B gap, and he's going to drop back in the zone here. We're sending the strong safety across the center's face into that A gap, crossing the Mike backer, who's going into the strong side A gap. So you have dual A gap pressure here, which is important. Slanting weak side B gap, contained on the outside. Backer is taking away the slant right there. So simple pressure right here, simple fire zone blitz, where you have the backers dropping back on the outside, strong safety going across that A gap, dropping the defensive tackle back in this hook zone right there. So that's one way this week versus Cleveland the Bengals can get pressure on Brian Hoyer, especially on 3rd down.
This week versus the Cincinnati Bengals, it'll be important for the Browns to be more active versus the run. And I've always said that stopping the run is about effort and want to, and your battery has to be strong. That's your nose tackle and your two inside backers. And right now, it's not happening for Cleveland. And you see right here versus the Bucs, two clear examples of that. In the first example, you're never supposed to let a tight end block you. You got to meet him at the point of attack and shut this run down for a minimal gain. And in the second example versus a simple zone play, you see one guy, Barkevious Mingo, do his job in setting the edge, but everywhere else you see lax effort in getting off blocks and maintaining gap integrity. You want your two inside linebackers to get a fit, while your nose tackle is supposed to belly the center back, clearing room for those inside backers to make a play. None of this happens, and the result is a big gain for the Bucs on the ground. And just to drive the point home, it's important for the Browns to be able to play a lot better in the front seven this week versus Cincinnati, because you do have a talented tailback in Jeremy Hill that can find the cutback lane and does a great job in accelerating through the hole. And if they're not able to win at the point of attack within their front seven, they could struggle mightily versus Cincinnati. The Bengals are having a lot of success this year because of the IQ of their players on both sides of the ball. Two examples of this versus Jacksonville. In the first one, the Bengals execute flawlessly in playing the bunch formation. Too many times you see teams struggle in doing so. They were patient and waiting for their responsibility to cross their zone and come to them. They matched up well and forced an incomplete pass. And that's textbook how you coach it up. Don't be aggressive. Don't chase anyone. Wait till the guy crosses your face in your zone and you make a play on the ball. And in the second example, you see Andy Dalton playing a great job from the neck up pre-snap, identifying the soft coverage in the zone. You see 4 wide receivers in a route, 1 safety deep back in the middle of the field, which tells you you can call 4 verticals. You want to send 4 on 1, put that safety in the bind. He won't be able to get over top of all of these routes. And your job, once you call 4 verticals, you want to expand the defense and find the soft spot in the zone, find the soft coverage, and it puts that free safety in the bind, because again, whichever way he goes to get over top, you go opposite of him, and that's where you want to go with the football. And that's exactly what Andy Dalton did on this play. Made a check call at the line, checked to 4 verticals, found the soft spot in the zone, and threw an accurate pass to Mohamed Sanu, who scored a touchdown. So just to echo the point home, this is the reason why the Bengals are having success. They're playing great football from the neck up. They're playing smart football. They're not beating themselves. And this is just a testament to how great of a coaching job Marvin Lewis is doing with the Bengals. They're taking what they're learning from the practice field, from the film room, and applying it in the ball game. And if they continue to play smart football like this, it not only bodes well for them in this ball game, but also moving forward to ultimately get to where they want to be at the end. John D. Beckler at JD Beckler on Twitter asked the question, what can Cleveland do to help manufacture a running game in Alex Mack's absence? That's a great question, John, and one thing I've always been a big fan of is trying to help out struggling players in order to achieve team success. And one way the Browns can do so is by combo blocking, helping Nick McDonald control the point of attack, and that'll allow the Browns the ability to be able to run downhill as well as get to the outside. Thanks for the question, John. The biggest X factor, in my opinion, in this game for the Browns will be their linebacker, Barkevious Mingo. We know how well he's done so far this season versus the running game, but can they turn him loose and allow him to get after the quarterback and try to get Andy Dalton on the ground will be something you want to watch for in this ball game. And for Cincinnati, it's going to be their rookie running back, Jeremy Hill. In order to knock off the Browns, you have to be a well-balanced offensive attack. You can't be one-dimensional, and right now they're struggling to stop the run. So that's why it's important for Hill and that offensive line to establish a run early versus Cleveland. I like the Bengals in this ballgame. I think their offense will be able to strike quick versus this Browns defense. And when you look at the Bengals defense, I think they'll do a great job in weathering the second half flurry that they're going to get from this Browns offense that seems to kick it in gear in the second half. So I think the Bengals will play a complete game and knock off the Browns on Thursday night.
What's up, fantasy football fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook for all of your starts, sits, fantasy football notes, news, and tidbits. Tune into our podcast, Football Game Plan Starting Lineup, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on our Football Game Plan Radio Network, which is located at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.
And I also want to give a huge shout out to Brown fan forums and Bengal fan forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.